you mentioned the intestinal lumen and the vagus nerve, so I'm going to just backfill that a little bit. And something that a lot of folks may or may not know is that we have in our colon, in our digestive tract, friendly bacteria, sometimes known as probiotics or healthy microbiotica. But these healthy bacteria that provide benefits to us. And these bacteria will take some of the contents of our food and make a lot of these short chain fatty acid molecules. The gut bugs make over 80% of our body's serotonin, and these bugs have cannabinoid receptors on them, and they talk through the lumen, through that very thin endothelial layer, not only to our immune system to help regulate inflammation, but they have a direct line straight into the brain through something called the vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve.
Yep.
And what's really cool about information systems is that if it is a circular or unidirectional information system, it can process information in one way, but this is a bidirectional system. So our body talks to the bugs, the friendly bugs, with cannabinoid via the cannabinoid system, and they talk back. And one of the things that our healthy bugs do is they really, as I mentioned, help control inflammation and also the neurotransmission of serotonin, which is a very important molecule for us to feel good.
Again, to go back to kind of how things work. So as we eat these dietary fats, again, we understand what we're eating and we understand where we're deficient. Okay. And through that deficiency, that is where we're allowed to develop a biome. And the purpose of that biome really is to offset any nutritional deficiencies that we have through our diet.
Where I definitely feel that we are in agreement, or is in what we think of as the unhealthy gut bacteria,
Yeah.
which, where you mentioned me eating a donut, that donut goes in and the unhealthy bacteria will right away secrete their chemicals that make me feel temporarily good when I'm eating the crappy food for my body, but it's good for them. And then if there's too many of those negative bacteria, when they're not being fed, just like your kitty cat will complain to you that I'm a poor starving kitty, they will secrete chemicals that make us feel bad when we eat food that is good for us.
Right now we've got this, and so we're sort of talking biome. So we've got this sort of balance between, if you look at your biome and kind of how to make it healthy the way that it is right now. So it's sort of this balance between colostrum and Formiticus, right? And if your stool is loose, you're going to be too heavy in one and not enough in the other. And, if your stool's too firm, you're going to be that way. But those two guys balance right now. But I will tell you this, we make bile acids, okay? So everybody makes bile acids. You make bile acids in a different way than a mouse does. So, if you're reading research studies like I do all the time, you need to know that before you start reading a bunch of mice and rat studies. But we make bile acid. And so when we make bile acid, that's something called cholic acid. And cholic acid can get modified. And when you read this in the literature, it's like, oh yeah, this is just the way stuff works. Sorry. The way that stuff works. And it's just accept this because this is the way that it is. But it talks about how you'll make secondary bile acids through your biome. Okay. But
Oh,
I
okay.
will tell you that some of those secondary bile acids are not helping you. Let's say they're favoring the bugs in your biome over you. And, that's what bugs do. They modify our processes so they can stay alive and so that they can, flourish and thrive. But I will tell you, there's things in that biome right now that we think that are helping us that are not helping us, that are adding to our obesity and weight loss problems, adding to our sensitivity to pain problems, things like that.